Alright, hello and welcome to our Slay the Spire run. So, today we are probably going to try to get a high Ascension with the Silent. The Silent is kind of easy mode in Slay the Spire, I feel. You have a lot of ways to just cycle through a deck real quick, deal a lot of damage, get a lot of block. So yeah, let's see how far we can get. So we are currently on Ascension level 7, meaning rare and upgrade cards will appear less often. We also have a couple of other things going on. So let's just see what we get. On Niao here, on the first Ancient, let's see what we have. We could transform a card, which is obviously good because maybe we can get rid of one of the strikes. And already direct us into a specific strategy. Adding Niao's Fury to the deck. It's good to have like an early game attack that could potentially also get us back our Neutralize or our Survivor. We definitely don't want to add an additional strike and defend to our deck. I think here I'm just going to go with the transform. And we're going to transform a strike. Hopefully we get something useful. We got Serpent Form. This will definitely be an issue in the early game because we'll rarely have time to actually cast it. I'm thinking this might already put us into a direction if we want to go all in on it of like a Shiv build. So yeah, let's just see how far we can get with this. Let's have a look at the map. So, we want to avoid too many of these hallway fights, especially early on. We want to do a couple so we can get some cards, but we want to basically delay our fourth hallway fight, because the fourth hallway fight will be more difficult than the others, and we might not be set up to deal with that. So, unfortunately, this map does not... This map is very unkind to us. We will always be encountering our fourth hallway fight very early on, which is very unfortunate. So we just have to pick the best path and deal with it. I'm thinking the middle path because it gives us some options. We can delay the first elite fight if necessary, potentially take a safety rest here. And in that case, I think we're definitely going to go this way, take 2 fights early on, have 2 events before we then go into our third and fourth fight. And then we can still decide if we want to take a right or a left. We can hit the shop over here, hopefully having collected some cash on the way. And then here we can once again decide if we want to take on more elites, go straight, or take a left to take another shop and 2 potential rests or upgrades. So I think that's where we're gonna go. Let's just get rid of all of this for now. And yeah, let's see what we can get here. The slimes, they're not too bad. This turn they're only attacking for 4. I'm thinking we're just gonna kill this one. Actually, we can kill the 15 HP one, defend, block all the damage. Not the best draw here, but we can block most of his damage. Oh, actually made a mistake. I should have just killed this one, blocked once. Would have only taken 3, but that's okay. We're taking 2 here. This turn, just gonna kill the little slime. Pass turn. We're gonna neutralize, defend, strike. Should have played the slime, but doesn't matter, I think. Here we're gonna slime, we're gonna strike, defend, and end. Now we just need 1 more. Okay, a little unfortunate, but it's fine. We're gonna do Survivor, play Slime, play Strike. And then hopefully next turn, yeah, We're always gonna be able to neutralize attack. And yeah, we took 2 damage this fight. I think that's okay. Let's see here. Escape plan. It's really good. It's basically just a free card that sometimes gets you a block. Also triggers any kind of draw effect you have. Piercing Whale, we might want one of these in our deck a little later on. Outbreak, really good once you have a poison build going. We currently don't have any cards that would do that, so we're just gonna go with the escape plan. If we just keep picking up escape plans, I don't mind that at all. We do have to make sure that we get a little stronger before we hit the 4th fight in the Elite, so hopefully we can pick up some proper damaging cards until then. We have the Fuzzy Worm Crawler. I don't think we will be struggling with that too much, so we're just going to double strike. Escape plan. We didn't, so we're just going to defend. And I'm not very good at the game, so we're definitely going to make a bunch of mistakes, but that's okay. Here the Fuzzy Worm Crawler is just going to buff itself, so I think this is a good turn to just Serpent Form. Considering we only have 1 strike, we could just deal 6 damage this turn, so we might as well play the Serpent Form, get it out of our deck. Next turn, we're going to be drawing the Ascender's Bane. Hopefully we'll get a little bit of block. And basically now we can play very defensively, because every single card that we play will deal 4 damage to the enemy. So we're just going to neutralize, defend, strike, and then next turn we're probably going to be able to kill it. Yeah, we're just going to do escape plan, strike. Very clean, very good. Okay, Tactician is amazing. As a Silent, you basically always want to lean into a little bit of a sly strategy, just because some of the best cards are prepared, which lets you draw and discard cards, so it just kind of happens naturally. And Tactician is definitely one of the best sly cards. Right now, the problem is that we're kind of only picking up some support cards with Escape Plan and Tactician. But I still think this is probably the best thing we can do right now. The only way to discard it right now is through Survivor, but if we are able to do that, that's great. That's like a free 8 block, so we're just going to pick that up, and we also want to upgrade it at the earliest convenience. The Sword and the Sword of Stone. The Sword of Stone, after defeating 5 elites, transforms into a relic that gives us permanent strength, which would be really good if we were to go into some kind of Shiv build, and we're very early on. I think right now I'm just gonna take it, and then we just have to see if we can transform it sometime in Act 2, which would give us a significant power boost if we make a bit of an attack-centric deck. And I kind of want to conserve my HP because we're going into a lot of little hallway fights. So, yeah. This is actually pretty decent. The room full of cheese. This room is full of cheese! You look around to see if there are any traps, and above you is more cheese. The candles in this room appear to be made of cheese. The furniture is also cheese. Suddenly the door behind you slams shut. It is made of cheese. The chosen cheese, yeah, getting it early on is pretty good because you're definitely going to regain the 14 HP that you're losing, but it's so insignificant. And right now I'm actually really happy to get some cards into my deck, and some of the common cards for the Silent are really good. So, okay, this is great. We can pick up a Prepared, which will obviously help us discard our Tactician. And that alone will grant us a little bit of energy, which might be useful to get our Serpent Form out. So we're really happy to pick up a Prepared here. Right now we do not have any real way to deal any damage, which is a bit of an issue. So, I'm thinking either we go Blade Dance, which would put us into the direction of a Shiv build. Dodge and Roll is really good. Gaining some block really helps with the survivability. There's also Leading Strike, which also adds Shivs into our hand. We could also go Dagger Throw, which is just a better strike that also helps us draw and discard. So maybe right now, just for some early game damage, we are going to go Dagger Throw. You take a nibble of cheese, but this fuels you to eat even more cheese. Time passes. You have eaten an awe-inspiring amount of cheese. Tonight, dreams will be cheese. Alright, we're taking on our third hallway fight here. The Shrinker Beetle, I don't think we're going to have much of an issue with that. We're just gonna go Dagger Throw. Discard one of our strikes. We're gonna go Escape Plan. There's no real need to do Prepared this turn, but we might as well just cycle through our deck a little, and then we're gonna strike and strike. Next turn, we'll see. Hopefully we can draw these two. Alright, we did not draw into that, but it's alright. We can just neutralize. I don't see any reason to take any damage here. We're just gonna go Survivor, and that's it. Okay, we gotta go Escape Plan, neutralize. Very unfortunate. Unfortunately, we're gonna take a big chunk of damage here. Nothing we can really do about that. Just a very unfortunate shuffle. Hopefully we can kill it here. And yeah, we're just gonna go Dagger Throw. Doesn't matter. Now, I'm sad to have taken some damage here, but we are going to deal. Okay. This definitely puts us in the mood for some poison. Right now I'm happy to pick up some cards that just help us with inevitability. I'll take the Deadly Poison. It applies the most poison for the cheapest cost. And now what we really need is some way of gaining additional block. Because right now we're probably going to take a big chunk of damage from whatever elite we're going to face. Which puts me into the mood of going the right way. But for now, okay, this might be a little rough, but we're gonna do our best. We're just gonna try to maximize damage here, so we're gonna discard the Tactician, gain that energy right back. We're gonna apply Deadly Poison, gonna neutralize, gonna strike, just gonna go defend. Do I want to retain my hand? I don't think so. Right now, that doesn't seem particularly useful. The Eye with Teeth, whenever we can manage to deal a little bit of damage to it, we're gonna. So right now, we're probably gonna strike the Eye with Teeth whenever we can, keep our poison up on the Fogmog, and hopefully not take too much damage in this fight. So we're just gonna strike, defend, and pass turn. Let's see. If we're lucky, we could do something with Serpent Form Prepared Escape Plan. However, with 15 damage incoming, I don't really feel comfortable doing that. Let's just start with the Escape Plan. Okay, we're picking up a defend. That's great. That lets us kill this one. Is there any reason to play Prepared this turn? It could get us the Tactician. That would be... wouldn't do anything, really. So I think we're just gonna let that go. We're just gonna defend, take 2 damage this turn. And we really want to get the Deadly Poison back. Okay, this is awful. We're gonna take some damage here. We're gonna Deadly Poison, gonna strike this, gonna strike this. Do I want to retain this turn? There's a good chance, I mean, we're always gonna get the Survivor or the Dagger Throw. And we're not gonna get any strike to deal with the Eye with Teeth. I think we're just gonna drink the Stable Serum. Okay, what can we do here? We're always gonna neutralize the Fogmog. Gonna Dagger Throw. Okay, we're gonna strike this one. Can Dagger Throw this one. Discard the Tactician, gain an energy, and then just block all the damage that's incoming. It's going reasonably well. This is, again, like, this is a hallway fight that we didn't want to take at this point in the game. But I think here we can just, yeah, we can just poison, strike, and we're good. Okay. Flick Flack, I don't mind. It's not the best Sly card, but I think it's reasonable, especially if we end up facing any kind of elite or hallway fight with multiple enemies. Right now we don't have any way to deal any AoE damage, so I think we're gonna be happy to pick up one Flick Flack. I'm a little worried about my health, so unfortunately I think we might just have to heal here. I could try to take the elite, but I think we're just gonna go for a safety heal. Very unfortunate. We would love to upgrade some of our cards, especially our prepared and our tactician. I don't think that's in the cards right now, so hopefully we can pick up 2 more campsites. We're probably gonna now go something like this, pick up this shop, yeah, and that will get us 2 elite fights. Hopefully we'll be strong enough to take them. Okay, the Flyconid and the Snapping Jackfruit, that's a lot of damage coming in. Unfortunately, we drew a pretty abysmal hand. We can block all of the damage, but unfortunately the Tactician won't do anything. So we're just gonna apply weak, then just defend, defend, defend. Sadly, that means next turn our defenses will be sorely lacking. This is not the best setup, I feel. We've really been done dirty with the room, but that's fine. We'll deal with it. We'll just defend, Flick Flack, and strike. Next turn, this Serpent form is really not doing anything for us right now. Luckily, we did not draw into it. Oh, but we're taking a lot of damage. Can we kill the Snapping Jackfruit at all? Don't think we can. We can draw 2 cards. If we get a strike, that would be 9, 15, 20. If we get a strike, we would be able to kill it, and then we're still gonna take a big chunk of damage from this, but I don't think there's anything we can do about that. So just gonna do this, discard this, prepared. We did draw a strike, that's great. We're still going to take a ton of damage, but it is what it is. At least we can get rid of this. Now we're going to take 16, and hopefully our deck will be kind to us. Taking 12 here, so we can just neutralize, defend, defend. Doesn't matter, we're just going to strike. 11 incoming. If we get a block, okay, this is fine. We can dagger throw, discard the tactician, and then we're still gonna take some damage, but we can defend, strike. Gonna take 3 here. Once again, we can prepared, discard the tactician, and we can strike, deadly poison, and finish this one. It's not going great, but okay, we're getting untouchable. That'll gain us some block. Hopefully we'll get a good relic here. The Petrified Toad, that can help dealing a little bit of damage. I'm happy to pick that up, especially before the first elite fight, but really not the best. So let's hope this elite is going to be... I'm a little worried here. That's a lot of damage incoming. So... Well... Did I skip? Why did I? Well, this is going to be a short run because I'm skipping things left and right. We're gonna do this. We're gonna take a whole lot of damage anyway, so I'm actually happy to get rid of the Serpent form in my deck, play defend, and hopefully will not be massacred by this bird. Why did I skip that relic? How did that happen? I really need to take my time. Hopefully we can get the survivor. Let's see here. Sadly, nope. Yeah, this is going all kinds of ways wrong. I'm just gonna defend. It's gonna deal 12, so I can do untouchable. Gonna take 1 damage. Really, what we need to do is just stall. Hopefully, draw into some of our... Unfortunately, the weak came at the wrong time, but we can still block all of this damage. Still deal a good chunk. So, the Serpent form is really doing some work here. Okay, we're gonna do Survivor, we're gonna discard the Tactician, we're gonna go for a Dagger Throw, Gonna discard the strike, and we're just gonna block, take no damage at all. This is going surprisingly well. Very sad to have not picked up this relic, but what can you do? How much damage am I dealing here? We have 6, 10, 20, 24. Okay, so we can actually just straight up kill the Birdonist. That was surprisingly clean. The letter opener, we're very happy to pick that up. Just a little bit of AoE damage, where a lot of the time we're going to play 3 skills in a turn, especially later on. So happy to pick that up. And here I'm going to go for the dodge and roll. Preserving block between turns is just very, very useful in general. So yeah, considering our fuck-ups, we're doing okay. Not very happy about my health, not very happy about not having upgraded any cards in my deck, but we'll see where we can go. Okay, yeah, very happy to have picked up some AoE damage. Now I just have to draw into it. So these are slippery. So we're gonna start with neutralize on this one. We're gonna take 6, 9 damage, so we should definitely play 2 blocks. That means we can do dagger throw, and if we draw into our flick flack, we can get rid of all the things. Alternatively, I could just play 3 defense that will block all the damage and also trigger the letter opener and remove all of the slippery. I think that's actually better. So we're just going to go defend, defend, defend. Getting rid of all the slippery. And then potentially I might be using the flex potion if... yeah, so we can gain 5. I can do 11 to all enemies and then I can just kill these 2 off. So that seems like a good idea. We're going to drink. Gonna flick flack. Strike. I could have just played prepared and discarded the flick flack, but that's fine. Happy to pick up an attack potion. Blur is nice to have. We're happy to pick up some skills for the letter opener. Block not being removed really makes it good when there's like a setup turn the enemies are doing and we have a lot of block cards in hand. I'm definitely going to pick up 1 blur. What I would like to pick up is Haze, a Sly card that applies poison, and a couple more things like Prepared. I would also like some Acrobatics, and I really need to start upgrading these cards. We're gonna go here. Unfortunately, I don't think we can afford it. We have to rest. There's no other way, sadly. Hopefully this elite fight will be a little kinder to us and the shop might be able to upgrade our deck a little. Ooh, okay, once again. Not ideal. Far from ideal. But we will make do. Do I use the attack potion now? I'm kinda inclined to get rid of the frog parasite early. So the little spawns I can maybe deal with a flick flack and some letter opener stuff. I'm just gonna drink it, see what we get here. The dash is really good. Unfortunately, there's not gonna be any attacking happening this turn, but what can you do? I'm gonna go for prepared. Sadly only got the dodge and roll. I would have loved to get the blur. I'm gonna discard the flick flack. And then we're just gonna dash, strike, 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 dealing a good chunk of damage to the frog parasite. I would have loved to have a potion-shaped rock right now, because that would really help us probably finish it off next turn, but we fucked up. We're gonna be hit for 16 this turn. We can blur, defend, defend, block all of that damage. And I think that's just what we're gonna be doing. Fortunately, we're not going to be conserving any block, but that's just how it is. We are going to escape plan. Then we'll dagger throw, discard the tactician. Sadly, once again, I'm drawing into all of my block. If we had 2 strikes here, we could just finish it off. Sadly, that was just never going to happen, since they're all in my draw pile. So unfortunately we're gonna get 3 more infections here. Next turn we'll be able to finish off the frog parasite, and hopefully we'll draw into some AoE to take care of the little guys. We did get our Flick Flack, which is nice. So here what we can do is we can just neutralize... no, we have to deal 6 right now before the poison tick. So we're just gonna strike. That'll spawn all the little guys. And then we're just gonna Flick Flack. We can neutralize one of them, it doesn't matter, the weak will just wear off. I'll do it on this one because that puts it in dagger throw range. And then we're just gonna dodge and roll and hopefully not take too much damage next turn. We're definitely gonna get some infections here, but we can... Yeah, we can dagger throw this one. Alternatively, gonna gain 1 energy from that. We're gonna get a blur. We're gonna take 3 damage. Is there anything we can draw? Hopefully we're not gonna draw another infection, but chances are pretty good that we will. Would be nice to draw into the dash. That'll deal 10 damage. So yeah, we're just gonna dagger throw this one. Sadly we drew into an infection, and we're just gonna discard it because Tactician is not doing anything for us right now. We're gonna take a lot of damage this combat. And hopefully we can get some damage to kill off at least one of them. Okay, we got the dash and we got a strike. So we're gonna start with prepared. Discard this defend, and then we're just gonna kill this one. Oh, this is just awful. But we can get rid of most of the damage here. We're gonna take 6 here. And now we can kill all of the wrigglers. We're still gonna take 3, I think. Can kill this one. Is there any reason we could just delay it and not take any damage? I think that's probably safer. So we're just gonna block deadly poison, and then next turn before it can attack, it'll just die. Hopefully we don't draw all of the infections and draw enough block to block all the infection. And yeah, this worked out just fine. So here we can basically just end our turn and get through it. Pocket Watch. Whenever you play 3 of your cards during your turn, draw 3 additional cards at the start of your next turn. That's probably not going to happen a lot, but it might on occasion. We want to pick up the footwork. Helps with the blocking. And then we're gonna go to the shop and see what we have. I wouldn't mind a well-laid plans. That could really help. What else do we have here? Dramatic entrance. Not really interested in that. There's... the Eternal Feather would allow me to enter the rest site and actually upgrade a card that's worth something, but it would mean that I'm not able to remove any cards, so that's a little sad. I would have 67 left, so I also wouldn't be able to get the Blur or the Well-Laid Plan, so I think, unfortunately, we're just gonna remove a strike from our deck, get Well-Laid Plans. And I think I'm gonna pick up this skill potion because I don't really feel comfortable for the next combat. Do I want the dash? Dash is decent with the Pocket Watch, because sometimes if you just play a dash and one other card, you gain the block, you deal some damage, and you will draw a bunch of cards. So we're so weak, I think I'm just gonna pick up the dash. We need a bunch of block for this one. I think I'm just gonna risk it. We have to start upgrading our cards. There's just no way around it. Probably gonna be starting with our Tactician. Yeah, we have a few ways to draw and discard, so I think we're gonna start with a Tactician. And hopefully our RNG will improve a little. I'm gonna go for 7 this time. It's great. We can set up footwork, and then we can actually we can either apply some deadly poison, gain some block that we will not be keeping. I think maybe we just want to preserve 7 block. But it's really good to get the poison going, so we're just gonna block all the damage this turn. Hopefully we draw into enough block next turn. Really happy to have set up the footwork early on. Okay. This turn we're going to start with escape plan. To prepared. I'm gonna discard the flick flag. Because of slippery, for the next 7 attacks will only deal a single point of damage. We're gonna neutralize. And then we're gonna dodge and roll. We need a little more block, so we're just gonna dagger throw. Okay, we can discard the tactician. We can strike. I don't want to discard the Ascender's Bane because I want it to disappear, so we're gonna leave it in hand. So we're simply gonna survive or discard this defend and end our turn. Now we're gonna be hit for 27 this turn. We have 6 right now, but I think with dash we'll be up to 18, another 7. Yeah, we're gonna take a small hit. We could do a skill potion, but I'm kind of interested in just playing 2 cards, so we're just gonna do... we'll only deal 1 damage, so we could also do 14 for 20, take 7 and get well-laid plans out. That will also trigger the letter opener, but we won't draw extra cards next turn. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna go dash, defend. I'd like to set the well-laid plans up, but maybe we'll just have to wait on that. And now unfortunately we only have 1 source of poison, so this is going to be a little... Oh, but this is a wonderful turn to set up Serpent Form, actually. Really happy to have gotten that this specific turn. So we are gonna go Serpent Form. I'm gonna go Neutralize. I'm gonna go Escape Plan. Yeah. And now we basically just have to stall. Really happy with that. And I should really keep this relic in mind. Because sometimes it might just be good to play 1 fewer card to draw 3 more cards next turn. Gonna go for 9, so we're gonna go prepared. Discard untouchable. We got a deadly poison. We're going well-laid plans and defend. Okay, this is going pretty well. And we're going to retain some block. Can't really go wrong with that. And we still have the skill potion for the big attack, so this is going quite well. Unfortunately, we don't have any way of discarding cards this turn, so I think we're just gonna go, let's see, attacking for 16 right now. We could either go defend, blur for a total of 21 block. That will leave us with 5 block, and then we can keep the dash in hand. Alternatively, we can draw some extra cards next turn, which would be useful. So we're just gonna go dash and blur, block all the damage, retain a little less, and we're gonna keep the tactician, and hopefully we can draw into some discard. Did not draw into any discard, so I think this is a good turn to drink our skill potion. Well, none of that is particularly useful, but reflex just becomes draw 2 for 0, so that seems okay. So we're just gonna neutralize. Reflex. Okay, we picked up a dagger throw that lets us get the tactician. That's good. Do I want the untouchable instead? No, I don't. We're just gonna discard the tactician. A 4 energy. We currently have 3 block. That's less than ideal, so we probably just want to block as much as possible. So we're gonna go dodge and roll, defend, defend. Now we're not taking any damage, and we can apply more deadly poison. Fairly likely that I'll be drawing into either Survivor or Prepared. So we are going to keep our on. Actually, next turn is going to be a setup turn, so we might as well just keep Flick Flack. All right. Yeah, unfortunately we drew all of our block this turn, but it's fine. With the Serpent form, those turns are still pretty decent, and we can do this, and this, and then we can just block, and then that was very, very clean. I'm very surprised that worked out so well. So, well. We could still go for the Envenom. I don't currently have all that many. I mean, I have a couple of attacks that would benefit from it, and it would really speed up our kills. What does the upgrade do? Apply 2 poison per damage. Grand Finale. Huge meme. I don't think we have any way to currently... We don't have any way to put it into our hand. We don't have any way to... If I had Meow's Fury, maybe I would go for it. But as it stands, it's such a meme. It's such a meme. I'll take it. I had to step away for a second, but now we're ready to continue our run. So, let's take quick stock of our deck so far, see what reward we can get, and then kind of plan our course through Act 2. We were able to remove 2 of the strikes so far. That's fine. We're definitely gonna work on removing like maybe 2 more of these. What have we accomplished so far? We have a few Sly cards that are decent. We have Tactician upgraded, which is good. We have Untouchable, which helps with getting some block. Flick Flack, which is definitely gonna fall off a little now. But that's still okay. We have a Prepared, we have a Dagger Throw, and we have Survivor for discarding cards. We definitely want to get a little more of that. And we also have Dash, Well-Laid Plans, and Footwork. Dash, not ideal, but sometimes we just need to block a bit of damage, deal a bit of damage. We'll see. And we picked up Grand Finale. So yeah, this might be a bit of a meme run. I'm not very happy with the upgrades so far. Unfortunately, in Act 1, we had to take a bunch of rests. So let's see if we can do anything about that here. First, let's see what we're getting. Pale's Flesh is very good. Just getting some additional energy. Really, really useful. Pale's Legion doubles block gained from a card, then goes to sleep for 2 turns. Yeah, I don't think so. Enchant all defense with Goopy. I'll have to say this is very interesting. We have a lot of defense still. We are struggling a little bit with survivability. So I think actually I'm going to try out Pale's Claw. Since this is not much of a serious run, what with Grand Finale and everything, I think it's maybe worth just trying out a few things and see where we end up. And this will also just make our defense into actually useful cards. And since we haven't managed to remove any of them, and also haven't picked up any truly strong block cards yet, we have Dodge and Roll, we have a Blur, and we have Untouchable. But I think just getting our defense to a place where they're actually useful could be good. So we're gonna try that. Alright, and now all our defenses are goopy. Let's chart a course, shall we? We don't have a lot of gold right now, so we probably don't want to hit the early shop right now. Once again, we want to avoid hallway fights as much as possible. The third hallway fight will be a more difficult fight. So I'm immediately drawn to this one, which would delay our hallway fight all the way here. Then we would get a rest site, followed by... We can get 1, 2 elites here. We still have to do 3 elite fights to transform the Sword of Stone. We could, of course, go here. We would not have enough gold for another card removal, which is unfortunate. And then we would do 1, 2, 3. Elite. Rest. Elite. And then we could still... if we're too weak, we can just avoid the elites or take another elite battle. So actually maybe we're going to go this way, and potentially we can pick up at least a potion or a card to add to our deck in this shop. So let's go to the right. The Burrower or Tunneler. Okay, so we definitely want to use our defenses whenever we can. We're a little incentivized to kind of stall right now, which might just be fine. So we're going to go Survivor, discard Untouchable, going to go Blur, we're going to go Defend, block all of this damage, retain a total of 11 block in the next turn. And then, well, not a lot going on here. We're just going to strike. I don't currently want to exhaust my defense because I might still need them. This battle is definitely going to go a little longer. We're going to exhaust one of them. Making our deck smaller is of course also very useful for potential combo shenanigans. So we're going to hit us for 23. We need to do 32 damage to get it out. We can block that, I think. We can try to gain some dexterity. Start with Neutralize. 17. We can go Prepared. Gonna discard a Strike. Dash, that's gonna be 14. Yeah, that's fine. With Footwork we'll gain 12, then we will take 1 damage. I think that's probably fine. So we're just gonna dash. Take 8 damage here. Let's see here. 19, we can deal 9, discard. Let's start with Escape Plan. Unfortunately, we drew into our grand finale. We'll see. If we can get it off once, I'm happy. Yeah, so we're just gonna basically play all of our stuff here, I think. Let's do a Dagger Throw. Gonna discard Grand Finale. And then we're just gonna go Blur and Defend. Yeah, we're gonna take some damage here. It is what it is. We're definitely missing strong offensive options, but here we can go Dash and apply a Deadly Poison. And now, okay, this is fine. We can actually go Serpent Form, Neutralize, Prepared, discard the Tactician. Still taking 9, so we can just play Untouchable. How much damage can we deal? 10, 20, 30, plus 4, 34. Okay, so not enough. We're just gonna go Untouchable. Take 1 point of damage here. And then next turn we should be able to kill the Tunneler. Escape Plan. Fortunately, nothing to do here but this. And we can do well-laid plans. Keep the Tactician. And then next turn, hopefully... Well, now of course it gained a bunch of blocks, so... we have 5 cards in deck. We can't draw enough to get our grand finale going, unfortunately. But we are going to discard Tactician. 5 here, so we can neutralize. Strike. We can Flick Flack. Can Dagger Throw. And that does it. Pounce. I don't think we have any skills that cost more than 1, so that's not going to be useful at all. Well, we have Untouchable, but we never want to cast that. Tactician doesn't do anything. I think I'm just going to go for a backflip. Would also be nice to have another Untouchable, but right now we're kind of hurting for ways to actually discard cards. Sadly, we also don't get anything here that would help us with that. We can add Sly to a skill in our hand. That doesn't seem very useful. Snakebite, I'm not the huge fan of. We could get another well-laid plans. We could go for Dark Shackles, which is kind of a replacement for the Whale. I'm not very enthusiastic about any of these. Maybe I'm just gonna pick up a Strength Potion. Not dealing a whole lot of direct damage though. Yeah, maybe we're just gonna pick up a Strength Potion and hope for the best. And now we are... guess we're going to the right. We'll have a stronger... Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. The Amalgamator. Amalgamator. You hear the echoes of metal upon metal on the other side of a wall. As you press your head against the wall to listen in, the wall opens up, revealing a hulking six-armed figure toiling away. Its face is a swirling vortex of glowing sigils that shift about. One with an ascending spirit has found my workshop. Let's get combining. So we're always going to combine 2 strikes. This is actually great. This removes basically 2 strikes from our deck and replaces them with an actually decent attack. We don't want to remove any defense because our defense, of course, are currently goopified, and they will just get stronger and stronger every combat. So I'm very, very happy with this event. So let's just combine 2 strikes. There we go. The Amalgamator strikes its bone anvil. Memories of combat, attacking, and defensive strategies sharpen with each blow. Your most ultimate technique returns to you. Okay, very happy with that. The Thieving Hopper. Hopefully we will be able to kill it in time. Let's start with Prepared. Discard Flick Flack. We have to do 17, so we're gonna... Let's see. Footwork. Yeah, that should do it. If I do Footwork, Defend, and Survivor. Discard whatever. Okay, we must not let it get away. Shit, this is not gonna... Oh, yep, this is not going great. Well, we have the ultimate strike, so that's good. And yeah, I'm gonna get rid of all the defense if I can. Okay, it's gonna be gone in 2 turns. Gonna hit me for 21 this turn. It's only taking half damage. I'm just gonna drink the Strength Potion. Should have done that earlier, honestly. We would have done a bunch more damage to it. And then we're gonna dash. Gonna strike. And hopefully next turn... Yeah, we're not gonna be able to cast our Grand Finale, sadly. We'll see. Okay, we have to hit it 3 more times. We can hit it twice this turn. And then next turn we can stun it, and hopefully that'll be enough to kill it the turn after. Flick Flack or Strike, doesn't really matter. We're just gonna strike it. And now we have 2 more turns to kill it if we deal any damage to it. So we can Dagger Throw. Gonna first Escape Plan. Okay, then we're gonna Neutralize. And then I can Dagger Throw. Can discard Untouchable. I'll discard this Dodge and Roll. And now I'll play Defend to get it upgraded. And then I'll apply Deadly Poison. And now we can definitely kill it and hopefully also maybe play a Defend. Okay, yeah, so we can play another Defend. Then play our Ultimate Strike. And get our card back. Oh, we took a bunch of damage in that combat, but sometimes that's just how it is. Ricochet, I'm not very excited about at this point. Sucker Punch, applying Weak is useful, but I'd rather just have my Neutralize upgraded at this point, and Blade Dance is also not particularly exciting, so we're just gonna skip. Do we want to take... I really... Taking a shop isn't great because we have nothing to do there, but I don't know if we want to take another combat. We're just gonna do it. At this point, I think I just want to pick up some more cards. Yeah, there's really nothing to do there. Okay. So we can block 13 damage pretty easily. We're just gonna survive her into the Untouchable. That will give us a total of 14 blocked, so that's perfect. And then we can just do 2 attacks. Probably we're gonna start with the Chomper. So we're gonna Dagger Throw. I'll discard the Untouchable here. We might as well Escape Plan. Okay, now we already have. Then we better play one of the Defends. I will play I'll play the stronger of the Defense because maybe we get an opportunity to get rid of the weaker ones at some point. And then we're gonna Ultimate Strike the Chomper. And that'll be that. Having taken the Grand Finale was, of course, a mistake. But, you know, sometimes you got him. I'll neutralize this one. It has artifacts, so that's actually not going to do anything. Let's start with Prepared. We'll discard the Flick Flack, of course. And now we can just play everything. We might as well get rid of one of the artifacts. And then we're going to strike and defend. Block most of the incoming damage there. We're definitely not very strong, but it is what it is. We can gain some block. Unfortunately, we cannot kill the Chomper this turn. This is got to be a really, really bad turn. We're just gonna block 9 of the incoming 23. Yeah, this run is not going great. I would be very surprised if we manage to actually defeat the Elite. Once again, we have 23 coming in. We can do 7. Can kill this one. Gain 21 armor here. And then can Prepared into Flick Flack. Yeah, we're gonna take a bunch of damage here. This is going quite badly, which, you know, is to be expected. We're gonna go down to 2 here. And then, once again, very, very rough turn. We're going to take 4, and we're actually going to die here. So, not a very good run. I made some mistakes there. Not having picked up the relic at the beginning was awful, because that would have allowed us to kill things way earlier, and probably saved us a bunch of HP in the process. Getting the Serpent form early on just really, really hamstrung us, because that was just entirely useless, like a dead draw for most of the early game. And then, of course, the Grand Finale was definitely a mistake. We didn't get to cast it once. It took up a whole card slot the entire time. Yeah, it just really didn't come together from both the just dungeon layout. Having to take on 4 early game fights was really bad. Meant we didn't have the health to work with to actually upgrade our cards. We only ever upgraded 1 single card. And I definitely made a lot of mistakes just on the way. So, short run, but this is a learning opportunity, I think. I think the Goopy Defense in the long run would have actually really, really, really improved the quality of the deck. Like 3 combats in, and we already have like decent block cards in the deck. For longer fights, of course, this is going to be an issue because you're just kind of going to be running out of block. But eventually, I think that would have kind of worked out well, because you can use the defense to block like large attacks without expending a lot of energy. So yeah, what we were really missing was like any kind of damage. We now had the Ultimate Strike, which would have been a good damage card had we, actually gotten to play with it a little. We had the Deadly Poison, we had Flick Flack and Dagger Throw, and that was it in terms of our damage. So we really were just not able to deal any kind of damage. We had reasonable survivability, but we didn't really scale to anything. One poison card is just not enough to keep up any kind of pressure. We were missing the powers that would apply poison every turn, and just other support cards for the poison to really make it work and stack up. So unfortunate, but sometimes that is just how it is. And we'll take that into the next run, learning from it, and maybe trying to play a little less risky too, because picking up the Sword of Stone and taking this extra combat here, that was definitely a mistake. Like, I could have just gone here, seen if I'd somehow gotten any healing, maybe from potions, then went into the elite fight, heal up, and then hopefully just get strong enough to take on a couple of elites. Didn't work out. That's fine. Next time.